Brent made $62,000 in his first few months as a brand new mobile home investor, and in this video, he's going to share how. This is Brent, and he's flipped 3 mobile homes. His third one is under contract today, and I wanted to bring him on to break down how he's doing it, what he's learned, and where he's headed next. So if you've been watching these videos thinking, can I actually do this too? You're about to get some serious insight into what's possible when you follow the right process and put in the work. Brent, appreciate you hopping on. Let's kick it off. Let's just tell everyone what you were doing before getting into the mobile home game and why you decided to get into it.
All right. Thanks for having me, George. Let's see. My career history is auto body. I spent like 20 years in it. And then when we moved to where we are now, we live in Loveland, Colorado. I was working as a manager at a body shop and decided that I was done with it. So we started taking care of we're host home providers for a developmentally disabled person, and that taking care of that individual has kind of allowed me to be a little more flexible with taking risks. And so what I did is, for a minute, I got into trying to do the land wholesaling business, and I was doing the postcards and mailing them out to all these people. You know, you kind of pick these areas and you send out these mailers. And I really only did one transaction with that, and I bought a lot down in Tennessee. I sold it, made like $5,000, but man, I spent a lot of money on mailers and stuff, and I just was like, I'm not liking this, because I just feel like it's a shooting from the hip approach.
Yeah.
So then my wife turned me on to this other group. It's Pace Morby, and it was they were doing some private money lending, and I joined this Gator group, and I actually have a private money loan down in Tampa, Florida area right now. And it's cool. I like it. I mean, that's interesting too, but I really wanted something that's like, okay, I can control it more. And so then you actually popped up in his feed on Facebook, and my wife pointed you out to me. And I was like, okay, well, we're losing our focus, but I like this, so let's check it out. Mm-hmm. And then we visited with you, and I was like, all right, let's do it. So we got going in it. We joined your group, and I started working on the spreadsheet of calling all these parks in our area. And it was daunting, and it was kind of hard, but eventually I got a call back from someone, and that's where I got my first deal.
So before we dive into that first deal, so you're doing some land wholesaling. Did you find like a lot of people that you were calling, they were saying they weren't interested, or they talked to other people as well? I know land and single family wholesaling is a little different, but was that the case for you, or is it just people weren't answering? What did that look like for you?
So for the number of mailers I was sending out, I got very, very, very little feedback. Okay. Very few people called. And then, and at one point, which really sealed the deal is, man, one night I just was getting ready to sit down to dinner, and I got a call, and it was on the business line. So I was like, okay, I'll take it, which I wished I hadn't, because man, I answered the call, and the guy starts out all calm, and there's a lot number on the postcard so I know so I can pull up my spreadsheet and go, okay, I know where this is. And he started to tell me it's lot number this and this and this, and then the profanity started flying, and that dude just ripped me up one side and down the other, and then hung up the phone. And I was pissed. I was like, what in the is going on here, bro? Like, all I did was send you a postcard. I didn't even make an offer. Like, if you're interested. and he just, I mean, he, and so, yeah,
You
so it
never know what you're
was
gonna come across.
right, right. And I was like, this just isn't my gig. And so, yeah,
The natural
that's when I,
progression: land wholesaling, private money lending, and then mobile homes. Was that progression for you?
yep, yep.
So when you joined the academy, what was going through your head? Were you nervous, skeptical, or just ready to rock and roll once you got going?
Um, I'm more nervous about the cold call aspect of things. Like learning, I love learning. Like I love learning how the deals are structured and all of those things. And going through your material, like I like that stuff. But it was like it was a cold call deal, and I went through the same thing. God, years and years ago. I used to, yeah, if you'll provide me with training, and he's like, yeah. Well, I go start working up in the office, and 3 days later, he's like, "You got to go." And I'm like, okay." So he just threw me to the wolves, and I had to, like, I had $0 in sales up there, and it was like, okay, I got to go talk to people, and so I had to like get over this fear of like, I got to go introduce myself and tell these people what I'm about and try and get business. So I went through that, and then and it never was like, okay, I'm a pro at this. But so when I started, that's just to kind of give you a base of like, okay, I struggled through it and made a successful shop. But it was never like, yeah, that's the best. But it was worth it though, because the shop succeeded, I succeeded. And so that's kind of what my mindset, my reference was when I was like, okay, I hate cold calling, but you got to do it or you aren't going to get any results. And so that's where the push is to get out and do the cold calling.
It's such a funny thing with cold calling because a lot of times I feel like what people have in their mind when they're cold calling, it's like it's me against that person, versus that thought process of I'm here to help this person. If I can help them, awesome. I'm going to show up. I'm going to help them. If not, then that's totally cool. I'm going to move on. I'm going to call someone 2 minutes later. And the thing is, like, once we get done with that cold call, we're like, all right, that person's gone. You never, if it's someone that didn't want to move forward on a deal, they're never in your life ever again. You forget about it a second later. So it's just funny how the anticipation of it is what we really build up on these cold
Right.
calls.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you can let it like beat up your ego, like, oh, I just got rejected. But it's like, well, we already know. I mean, if I just look at it logically, well, there is a statistical number of rejection I've got to go through to get to hit the yeses.
How many no's are going to lead me to my yes? No,
Right.
perfect, check that one off. Next one, perfect, check that one off. And then boom, you're ready. You got your
Yep.
yes. Strategic
Yep.
about it. So let's dive into your first deal then. I know that one didn't go exactly how you hoped. You mentioned you might have spent a little more than you should have. What happened there and what would you do different now looking back?
So one of the parks that I actually didn't even get to have a conversation with the manager. I had called and I had left a voicemail, who I was, what I was about, and she remembered me. She remembered it, and she had some other people that had lived in the park for a long. Well, it was a 1981 3-bed, 2-bath, and he had lived there since that unit was brand new, and he had never the carpet was original from 1981.
A lot.
But he was, I don't know why him and his wife were moving, but it was time to move. And so they sold it to this other couple. And that couple, they had done some fix and flips with mobile homes in the past. But they decided they were at retirement age and they were going to move, I forget, like Nebraska or somewhere where land and houses were cheap. And so they didn't want to flip it. So then they got my number from the park manager and called me. I was like, yeah, I'll come look at it. Well, we walked through it, and of course, I'm just excited to get a deal. And of course, I don't know that it was really a deal, but it was definitely training. And so I ended up, I think I paid 56 grand for this 3-2. And
did you negotiate that one at all?
yeah, they wanted like $68,000.
Got it.
And I was like, I can't give you that. So, but I mean, and things were hot then too, and like stuff was selling for, that stuff would sell for 140, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. And I was pretty certain, like I had done kind of some math on the whole, what I thought materials would be and everything, and then how long I thought I would hold it. And so I pulled the trigger once he said yes to my offer, and I was like, I'm going to do everything myself. I want to learn how these are constructed. I want to learn how everything is. And so it took me 6 months to flip that thing because there was so much work.
You're on your own too. You're learning, brand new at everything. So it's definitely a huge learning curve as well.
Yeah, I'm a pretty handy guy. And I mean, like I've had like 3-car garage that it had 7-foot ceilings in it. And with the advice of an uncle that was a contractor, we cut out all the trusses and we vaulted the ceilings, and I could the ceilings were 11 foot at that point, and I could put a lift in there and work in the garage, and I remodeled the whole garage. So I had some prior experience, but this was just different. And so I dove in and then realized how poorly I had really inspected this house. And I ended up replacing like half of the subfloor, had to put a roof on it, 3/4 of the drywall in it.
You're saying is you didn't follow what we had in our trainings in that first one.
I did not. I was shooting from the hip, and that was a serious mistake. But like I say, I learned so much. So I financially I regret it, but the learning, the knowledge is huge.
We still made a profit on that one. What was your profit on that deal?
I made 10 grand off of that house.
Yeah, all right. You made 10 grand and you learned a ton. You pretty much learned, let's follow what's in the training now and not try to do it on my own path.
100%.
So do you feel that experience helped set you up to approach deal number 2 more strategically?
Yeah, because I knew more what to look for structurally when we went into a place, and I was more confident of that. And then I knew I had a better idea of materials costs and things like that.
Okay.
So it helps.
So deal number 1, park manager let you know about that deal. So connecting with park managers. How did you find deal number 2?
So deal number 2, and she had, I think she was about a year into her process, and we reached out to her and we had lunch with her one day so we could get to know her. Just was like, well, she's doing the same thing as us. Maybe we can become friends, or and have a business relation. So we did, and one day she called us up and she was like, hey, I've got this double wide at this park. I don't have the time and bandwidth right now to deal with it. Do you want it? So we went and looked at it, and then she actually introduced us to our contractor that she uses, and he gave us a bid, did the math on the materials and his bid price and everything. And then at that point, I just reverse mathed it, and then we looked at what stuff had sold for in that area, and we pulled the trigger on it.
And that's the importance of building relationships right there. So many people would be like, she's my competition. We're not talking to her. But you guys went out of your way, said, we're going to build this relationship. Look, you got deal number 2 and you got your contractor to help you on that because you guys went out of your way and did so.
Yeah. And now, I mean, I have her like for questions, it's like, well, hey, what did you do? Who do you use for insurance? Hey, well, who do you use for this? And in fact, on deal number 3, I wanted to add air conditioning to it. And I was like, who do you use for air conditioning? And she gave me, her contact. And it was cheaper than anyone else I could call. So yeah, she's totally cool about it.
Love it. So what did the numbers look like on that one? Purchase price, reno, holding cost, sale price. What did that look like for that deal?
Gotta remember. Sorry, that one, I didn't pull the numbers on it, but I think we paid 30 grand for that one. And so we paid 30,000. It was a 1,500 square foot double wide. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but we went in and it had a large amount of living area. And so we made it a 4-bedroom.
Awesome.
And remodeled the whole thing. So the 4-bedroom made it more family attractive. And then let's see, I want to say that one I was into it. We sold it for 139. I know I cleared 27,000 on it, so we could math backwards that way.
All
but
right, so cleared
withholding costs, remodel everything.
How long did it take you for that specific deal?
Well, I was hands off, so the contractor did everything, and we had a couple of hiccups because I was nervous about moving forward because we literally we bought it from Renee and we didn't have park approval yet. And which, that's a roll of the dice, but I was like, I got good credit. I don't have anything in my background that's a problem. But we decided we should not throw any more money at this until that gets resolved. And they had problems because they were changing over to a new management system. So my application got lost. And so it took a few weeks to get that all squared away. So I think we were about 2 months by the time it was all said and done, with delays and everything. And then it was on the market for, God, not very long. I wanted to say it was less than 2 months, and we had offers and then the contract, and then closed on it. So,
and that one was like a couple weeks after your first one, right? So it was like in that same period of time that you closed on both.
Yeah, we actually closed on that one before we closed on the first one. Gotcha. Yeah, the first one closed a few weeks later.
Okay, so willing to take action as well. So even though you had one deal, you said, okay, we're still going to get our second deal. We're still going to work on that, which is very important to keep that momentum going. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll take their foot completely off the gas when they're on one deal, and then they'll start back up to do some lead generation in the second one. But you guys were willing to get that second one and get things moving before you even sold the first one, and more than double almost triple the profits, $10,000, and it's a $27,000 profit on your second one.
Yep. So yeah, we were pretty excited about that. So that definitely was created optimism and hope, and said, okay, we're gonna keep moving in this.
Love it. So now deal number 3, which got under contract today, which is amazing. Deal number 3, how did you find that one? Tell us about that one, and then we'll go from there with this specific deal as well.
So you talk about foot on the gas, and I'm going to just tell you, I'm not a prime example of foot on the gas. I have been off of the gas and on a little bit and off of the gas, but I had multiple things that I did in between the first two and this one. But I did make some marketing efforts, and I got out and I did some face-to-face with people, and I got I got 4 or 5 bandit signs out, and one of the bandit signs I got out was in the first park on my first deal. And the manager there, we just have a good working relationship, and she's awesome. Well, she told me, she says, yeah, you can put a bandit sign out. She goes, but it could get taken down because when the owner shows up, they'll want it down. Well, 4 days later, sure enough, that happened. But she was super cool. She took a picture of it and printed off my sign and put it in their community board.
Amazing.
And a guy at the end of the cul-de-sac at the end of the street there saw my number and called me, and I went and met with him, and his mom had just moved into a home because she was getting up there in age and whatnot, and he wanted out of it, and he's like, I don't want to go through all the trouble of marketing and recarpeting and things like that. He goes, I just want to sell it. So I gave him an offer based on now I had a better idea of math on my materials, and I did what I did on the second one. I brought my contractor over and had him bid everything I want to do. So I had a more solid number, and I offered him, I think it was like 26 or 27,000, and he was like, "Yeah," he goes, "My bottom dollar was really 30," and the unit was actually pretty nice shape. So I was like, I'm not worried about a bunch of hidden stuff on this. So I went ahead and I was like, we'll do the 30. It's a few $1,000s, but we'll do it. And so I paid him the 30, and we hit the ground running. And on this one, I did a little bit of labor. I did all the demo. I put a roof on the shed, and I put a roof on the covered deck. And then my contractor did everything else. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I put the windows in it. The windows. I did. It had single panes. I put doubles in, and then he handled the whole remodel inside. And so by the time I was all said and done with this one, oh, that was the other thing. I did have a surprise. The water lines, all the water lines were PVC in this thing. And I was back and forth. I'm like, this is a 1997, I think it is. Yeah. And I was back and forth. I'm like, why are there PVC pipes in there? And then I looked, and they're like, yeah, that can leach stuff into the water. And I'm like, I can't do that. So I reached out to him, and I was like, you need to replace all those water lines. So that was a change order and additional money. But so, cost went up a little bit, but that was really my only surprise. And so I was like $88,600 something. Okay. When it was all said and done.
Decent amount still. And we were talking about, and then what was your profit on that one?
So we'll be sitting right about 25,000 on it.
25,000. Okay.
Yep. After realtor and everything.
Okay, gotcha. Now the market that you're in right now, it's a bit higher of a price point than what you guys want to be in. So what is your next step at this point in time? Where do you feel you're going to be going with the business? What's your vision for what these next mobile homes are going to look like and those next steps there?
So those first three they were all high-end finishes. I mean, complete drywall finish in and out, all new cabinets. They're very nice, all new light fixtures, everything. But the market's kind of softened up. And I mean, I should have made like 30. I should be closing on 35 in profit, but because the market softened up, I had to move back to get some traction. So that being said, we're going to cut back on our bid prices. Like 30 grand. Nah, we're going to be topping out like 10, 15 grand type of situation. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to start doing some marketing and find parks that will be friendly to me being able to do the owner carry model. And I want to do that exit point of like $50,000 to $70,000 on them, and not do such a high-end finish. We'll leave how it is with a standard mobile home. They'll have the little battens on all the seams on the drywall and everything. I'll leave it fresh paint, clean it up and make sure everything's in order and mechanically solid and it's good and livable. And we're going to try that approach.
Yeah, great. And there's different approaches, right? And you're going like that HD TV type of model that you're going for the other homes, and it worked to an extent with those homes. You got a good profit on those homes. You would have pushed for a higher profit or whatnot, but it's finding that balance and figuring out what those next steps are for you and how to approach it differently as you continue to move forward. And as you were mentioning earlier, you have a heart of gold and you kind of bend over. So not bend over. Let me not use that term. Yeah. Let's reverse that. You have a heart of gold and you're willing to give a little more than what you should. So for example, that one that was $30,000, instead of negotiating that to a lower price point, you're like, all right, we'll give you the $30,000 versus using the partner approach. Is there anything else that you would have done differently on those specific homes there?
Really, the last one, yeah, I think I would have held out for a little lower price. And then I think the only thing I want to do, if I do any more hands-on, and which I kind of don't want to, because I go, man, the most money I've made so far has been hands-off. So I look at it's like, I just need to be more disciplined about my market analysis, and my buying price, and inspection of the home. Super tight inspection of the home, so I know what I'm going to get into. And yeah, and just, I mean, the deal comes when you at your buy price. If you pay too much, then prepare not to make too much, is what I feel like.
Yep. You got your first 3 deals done, which is amazing. You're moving. Now let's figure out that approach that you want to take moving forward to get them for those lower price points and to make those higher profits on them.
Yep.
What's been the biggest shift for you since starting, either in mindset or how you approach business? Like what's been a shift for you?
Biggest shift. Well, I think the biggest shift for me too, like, is I spent a whole career working for someone. And it's like, if you just grab yourself by your cojones, I guess, and you go, oh, look at everything that I'm capable of. I mean, if you just can give yourself credit and go, look at everything that I can do. Man, life is way more flexible when you don't have a W-2. Like, and this is proving it to me. It's like, because really, like, couple more deals, if I can seal 2 more deals before the year's over, I replaced my base salary as a shop manager for a body shop. And I'm like, I can tell you, I have had plenty of time to myself and to other things besides, mobile homes. Yeah,
I Bahamas.
What's that?
They're like sailing to the Bahamas.
Yes, like sailing to the Bahamas. Yeah, I couldn't have done that if I had a W-2. So
more freedom, and we'll definitely make sure that you get those 2 deals in before the end of the year. Definitely have to hold you accountable to that. Replacing that W-2 income in that first year is definitely huge, because it does make that shift. Like, I really just replaced that with so much more freedom, with so much less time spent on these deals, especially your second deal where you didn't do any of the labor or anything at all. So understanding that, like, possibilities are limitless as you scale, as you now start to hire the right people for your team that we were talking about before this call. Things are going to be able to grow that much more and that much faster with your business. Yeah, for sure. And deal number 2, well, all 3 deals have taught me, like, I'm really going to work on a master inventory list, and I'm going to get a back stock. Like, so that when I roll up, I have all the smalls to do a complete flip. Because, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the hardware store for smalls, shut-off valves for under the sinks, all these little plumbing things and all that stuff. Just, I mean, I don't know how you handle it, but I'm like, okay, I could really, if I made a master list, I could have all this. And yeah, have a warehouse where now you bought in bulk shelves and cabinets and countertops and different things of that sort.
Yeah, because I bought a dump trailer, because I was like, that's the other thing I learned, is I spend a lot of money on roll-offs. And so I have a dump trailer. I just got it all repainted, and I'm gonna letter it all up. It says I buy mobile homes with my number on it. So we park there just going, hey, check it out, or wherever I drive. But then I'm like, and I can roll job boxes in the back of that thing, stocked with all those things that I can roll up to the site with and be like, okay, here's all the smalls. Don't send me to the hardware store for this stuff. You have it right here.
It'll save you so much time and make the business so much more fun, not having to drive back and forth from Home Depot. I remember my first year in business, I was doing like all the driving. I ended up having PTSD from Home Depot. I'm like, I'm not going back to Home Depot ever again.
Yeah. You go, oh my gosh, I'm giving too much road time to this. This is out of control.
Yes, 100%. Definitely gets out of control. So have you had any moments where you felt stuck or doubted if it would work as you've been building up this business?
Yeah, when I first started doing the call list, I put my list on the spreadsheet and I started doing the calls, and I got through a bunch of calls, and I just didn't get a lot of traction in the beginning. And then and then all of a sudden it was like, well, out of the blue, there it was. And I'm like, I just feel like if you do the work, eventually it comes back.
Yes. What would you say has been the most important or the most helpful part of the academy? Whether it's been group calls or the training videos, the templates, the group chat, what's been the most helpful part for you?
Really like the well, I just did your mindset video, and I really enjoyed that mindset. It's like, man, it's so powerful to have a good mindset, and it helps you too in conversation with people, like, because you don't take anything personal, and you know that you are there for like these are just stepping stones, and these are just relationships, and relationships take time. And if I keep my mindset right, even the negative ones, they come back around. So yeah, so your mindset is the first thing and foremost, because it resonated with me.
Yes, amazing. Because that's the foundation to everything. If you don't have your mind in check, it doesn't matter the business strategies, tactics that you have, you can continue to self-sabotage over and over again.
Yes. Yep.
So for anyone who's watching, who's sitting on the fence, maybe overthinking it, what would you say to them about joining the academy?
If you have dreams, you have to take action. Like, for instance, I mean, I'm a child from the '80s, and I loved heavy metal. I loved the lead guitarists and their screaming music. I thought it was awesome. I love guitars, but I always wanted to learn, but did I ever learn? No. So I didn't want it bad enough to take action. So you gotta just want it bad enough and take the action. It's okay. It's okay to look awkward, to feel awkward. Like, move past your fears, move in them, move through them. Who cares? Like, you cannot grow if you don't take action.
So be willing to take the action.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, I could be then it's like, how much action do you want to take? Because if I was more focused, I should be sitting here. I shouldn't say should, because I have enjoyed this year. It's been awesome, and I've learned a lot. But now I'm like, oh, okay. I can take more action. And a year from now, I can be telling you how many deals I did, and it won't be 3 to 5. It'll be more, because the more action, the more results.
We're gonna hold you to that, because we will do another interview a year from now and see exactly where you're at.
Cool.
Quadruple down on those deals, see where you're at that point in time. And that's the beautiful thing about this business as well. Is like you're learning the processes, you're understanding different things. And with mobile homes, it's so much easier to scale than with single family homes. With single family homes, it's like I need to have a lot more money in order to scale. Mobile homes,
yeah.
Those parks, let's find those markets. You can buy 5 deals, 6 deals at once if you do it correctly, and then you just stack those deals up versus having to have hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars if you want to buy 5, 10 single family homes at once. Like the numbers can be crazy, but it's easy to scale. It's simple to scale when you know what you're doing, what you've learned. And now it's just getting these processes honed in on even more.
Yeah. I mean, what's a single family? The average here in Loveland is like, it's over 500,000. So I'm like, yeah, you've got to find private money. You've got to get conventional loans. You got to have down payments. That takes a lot more capital to play in that world. Yeah. And you can turn these and make as much as a flipper can make on a single family home.
Well, the average profit, I think, across the nation is $30,000 in a single family home. You're putting a lot more money into it, and the returns are a lot lower, and it's taking you a lot more time in order to do it. What would you say? Where do you think that you'd be right now if you didn't join the academy? You got started in this business. Do you feel you'd be in the same position? Do you feel you might not have continued moving forward? What do you think that would look like for you if you didn't join us in the academy?
I think it would be harder, because if I have questions about anything, or I just need a direction, I can jump onto the coursework and be like, oh yeah, okay, I can do that. And so, yeah, it's great to have the reference, and it's great to I haven't done it as much as I should. And I think too, because like that first 6 months, I was just grinding it out to finish that project. But like your meetings too, like your Q&A meetings, like, I mean, I don't know where you're going to go to. I mean, I don't even have a clue how many at this point you've flipped, George, but I mean, that's a book of knowledge right there. You've experienced probably most every scenario there is with buying and flipping a mobile home. So it's like, yeah, jump on a Q&A session with you, and it's like, okay, I can ask this question and he'll have the answer, or he'll be like, it's in the coursework, look at it.
One of the reasons, that's one of the things that are so beneficial is, like you said, you can get your answers, and we'll always answer. Even if it's in the coursework, we'll still share those answers with you. And that's one thing that we really make sure of, so you don't get stuck anywhere. So you're not in your own head, so you're not stuck on certain projects. You know, okay, this is what I can do now. This is the strategy. Because a lot of times what happens is people don't have that confidence because they don't have the answers. You get overwhelmed, and I'm not moving forward on anything.
Right. And I just, who is it? Alex Hermosi?
Yes.
He has that, don't invest in the S&P 500. First, you got to invest in the S&Me 500.
Yes.
And I'm like, the only way that you're not going to like make your investment back in joining like your coursework and in your community is if you don't take action. As long as you take action, you'll recover your investment in yourself, and you'll make dividends.
100%. And that's all it comes down to. And before anyone joins us, we always let them know we can't save you, but we can lead you, we can guide you, we can hold you accountable. Well, we can't do the work for you. So you have to be willing to do the work if you want to get the result. Is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap this up here?
I'm looking forward to deal number 4 and 5, and I'm looking forward to year 2.
Love it. Getting those wrapped up, those next 2 deals wrapped up before the end of the year, and then doubling and tripling down. Awesome, Brent. Well, again, appreciate you for sharing. You've come a long way. I know you're just getting started, so excited to see where you take it. And for anyone else watching, if you want to learn how to flip mobile homes and build a real business like Brent, check out the training that we have linked down below. You can also comment Academy down below if you want to get more information on our Academy and how we can help you inside of there, and also join our free school community so we can teach you the exact system we use to find, to fund, to flip these mobile homes step by step. And if you're ready to actually take action, there's a link down below to book a call with me or someone on my team. We'll see if you're a good fit to join us in the Academy and help you hit the ground running. Don't forget to like this video, drop a comment down below, hit subscribe. We've got more interviews and more videos throughout our channel. Make sure to check those out, and more mobile home content coming your way. Brent, appreciate you for jumping on.
Thanks so much, George. And anybody out there that's on the fence, don't hesitate. Just take action.
Take action. Let's go.